chance to tap. Derek Martin looking all over the place because he's double teamed all the way up the floor. He saves the over and back, and Louisville comes up with the loose ball. Gets Stone right side. Underneath, alley-oop, and Everett Sullivan with the basket.
Everett just styling, give him a 9 for after the hoop. The dunks are good, but his reactions afterwards are dynamite.
A 2-point game. Don McLean set to return for UCLA, and I have to say that's not a surprise.
He's been on the bench for a little bit longer than one would expect.
Derwin Webb on the reach-in foul. He's amazed as he looks at referee Jerry White.
Number 13, Derwin Webb.
And McLean will check back in for UCLA, just walking into the top of your screen there. And he will replace Zan Mason. Mason leaves with no scoring as he had about a 5 or 6 minute playing spell there. Keith Owens will throw it in for the Bruins. Tarver and LeBradford Smith colliding on a 50-50 ball.
Good no call by the official.
Tarver still with it. Dishes for McLean. Fake and a score.
Penetration again. Sean Tarver. He goes to the basket. The adjustment at halftime should be let him take the outside shot. They can prove he can hit it.
Holden strong on the dribble. Short on the shot. Attempted follow slam by Derwin Webb was missed. Martin for McLean. Great pass. And the foul down on the baseline.
Mentioned it before, Cornelius Holden from Los Angeles relaxed a little bit, forced in on the offensive end, gets beat down the floor, then commits a foul.
And Jimmy, don't you know, with every minute that goes by, Cornelius feeling the heat. Mike Case is in, Holden averaging 13, scoreless so far, and now Holden will sit down for a while.
I mean, there's a forced shot there. It's a second really bad shot he's taken, and then you got to get down the court. He gets beaten down the floor, commits the foul, and he fouls the wrong guy.
Don McLean, a career 83% free throw shooter.
Boy, he looked like business on the free throw line, huh? And there's Denny Crum explaining to Cornelius, relax a little bit. Just play the game, let it happen.
7:53 Philadelphia.
Bob upsets it in the air. If Louisville stays close, who knows? This could happen today, too. Although I don't think so.
It's been all over the Pac-10 this week in conference games. We'll see about a non-conference tilt here in Westwood today. Bob Carpenter with Jim Valvano. 7:40 first half to go. UCLA using that front line strength, leading by 6. And LeBradford Smith runs into some of that front line strength defensively.
I've seen double teams and triple teams. They had 4 guys on them.
Louisville now 7 of 22 from the field, down around 30%. Here's Sean Tarver. He's really driving well. Little long with the shot. McLean, the offensive board. His 5th rebound. It leads to a score.
He's automatic. Again, Sean Tarver. Keep him in front of you. Don't let him drive.
Baseline right. Left-handed jump hook. Troy Smith, his first field goal.
Troy Smith in the basket.
Sure, Denny Crum's happy to see them.
Bruins are 11 of 18, 19 from the floor, but there's a turnover. LeBradford Smith kicks it left side. Mike Case, not a real shooter off the bench. They go down low, and Webb double pumps to draw the foul. 17 fouls on each team coming into that play. It'll be number 1 on McLean, so number 8 on UCLA.
LeBradford Smith does the right thing, doesn't force it, finds the open guy, doesn't want to take the shot though, and a good pass there too. Here's the play, you want to go right to the basket, all that dipsy doodle, just doesn't give a chance for the 3-point play. Lay it in.
Well, part of that shot blocking threat checks out. Zimmerman leaves, Tracy Murray back for UCLA. There's Derwin Webb out of Indianapolis, Kentucky.
Derwin Webb shooting 2.
Indianapolis, Kentucky.
Well, that's not a little town, folks. It is Indianapolis, Indiana.
And sitting down.
Lawrence North High School, by the way.
For Louisville, this would be a critical situation now. 6 minutes, 47 seconds to play. If this free throw goes in, it's a 4-point game, and Bradford Smith is sitting down. Used to say the Pines. Shouldn't say the Pines anymore. No one sits on Pines. On the upholstered chair. He's on the upholstery right now. See if Louisville can maintain this 4-point differential. There's a man who didn't sit too often, Jerry West.
Well, he sure makes the rounds to college basketball, doesn't he?
Well, I did a game in New Mexico in the snow, and no one was there. Who was there? Jerry West was there. See Mr. Luke Longman.
the big 7-footer of Dave Bliss. On the right side, Owens kicks it out top. Tarver just won't go for him. And the rebound coming off the bench with strong play. Derwin Webb again.
I like that, though. Let Tarver take the J.
Kip Stone on the turnaround. Entry pass. McLean steals down the floor. Here comes Tarver. And he slammed it too soon right into the front of the rim. At the other end, Everett Sullivan makes him pay. He's the star of the game right now. 14 first half points. Right side, Tracy Murray short with it. Bruins getting one shot. They had Case down the floor, but nobody saw it.
Surprisingly, 2-point game.
Cardinals could tie with a deuce here with 5:40 to go, first half. First of a Saturday triple header on ESPN. Couple of more games tonight. And there's the equalizer. Sullivan with 16.
He's just playing out of this world tonight. I'll tell you, though, Louisville's defense has been exceptional the last couple of times on the court. How they deny the ball on the perimeter.
Tarver, nice one. Over the top, McLean, triple team, drawing the foul. If there's that many Redbirds down there, they really don't need to foul on that play. He was completely surrounded.
Fouls on number 5, Mike Case.
It drives the coach nuts. One thing you want to see is your players go to the ball. There are 4 Cardinals to the ball. The one thing you know is don't foul. Making them have a tough shot. It's going to be a tough shot. It's a good pass, right? They're trying to front. They want to deny the McLean the basketball, which is what they're trying to do. So they get in front of him. Excellent pass, but now good weak side out. Just stand your ground. Going to have trouble making that shot.
Don McLean with 13 points tonight, a career total of 1,534 now.
He's only missed maybe 1 shot so far, and he also sacked. And that's hard for a player to do, to go to the bench and come back in. But, I mean, it's like rolling out of bed for Don. He can really shoot it.
Kip Stone, penetration, left side, kicks it for Webb. Quick move to the hole. Derwin Webb with 4 points in a bench roll.
Why play a tough schedule? Everyone's always said that about Denny Crum. Why? It's because the tougher people you play, the tougher you can play them. And that's what they're doing here after playing Kentucky, Cincinnati, Indiana.
Derek Martin on the miss, then the steal. Tarver, no mistake this time. And Sean has 7 points.
Kip Stone has made 2 really poor passes, which caused turnovers, and I'll bet he'll be coming out of the game pretty soon.
That basket erased an 8-0 Louisville run over 1:45. They've been a team of runs here in the first half. And then away from the ball, it looks like a foul on Sean Tarver, who is working against Mike Case.
Fouls on number 21, Sean Tarver.
Coming up at halftime, Bill Patrick is standing by. Top 25 scores and highlights. He'll be talking about that Virginia win over Duke. And then back here in Westwood, the Wizard will visit with us.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. So many people have been influenced by John Wooden. You know, John was an academic All-American, Coach Wooden, and he also was an athletic All-American at Purdue, majored in English. I was just a kid at a basketball camp, and Wooden so impressed me with his command of the language that I majored in English, which made a lot of my professors
Wait a minute.
upset.
You majored in English?
You should hear me do Shakespeare. You should hear me do Shakespeare. To be or not to be, huh? That's the question. But there's Coach Wooden. He's influenced so many. I talked to him before. He had his granddaughter and his great-grandson there.
What a day for Everett Sullivan. 18 points in the first half now.
Quite often, games are determined by who wins the last 5 minutes of the first half and the last 5 minutes of the game. That's what we're in right now. Let's see what happens.
4:15 to go. Tie game over the top. Tarver from McLean, but Don was pushed by Cornelius Holden, and the local guy of the Crenshaw High School now, still scoreless, better than 15 minutes into the game, and that's his second foul.
That was a tough call there. I mean, there was no way that McLean was going to get that ball, and that was a tough call.
Yeah, I was going to say, too bad for Holden the football rule didn't kick in because the pass was not catchable.
Had no chance at it, and I don't think that he gained an advantage by the defensive play.
Don McLean with 15.
But just watch this. You see, look at the pass. That baby's gone. In fact, see McLean with the left hand. He's a pro already. Don't agree with that call.
McLean with 16 now in the first half. It's a battle of McLean and Sullivan. Everett has 18, and UCLA leads by 2. Off the hands of LeBradford Smith. Mitchell Butler running hard. He runs a 9.700. Kicks it inside. He can also pass. McLean a little short with it. And James Brewer taken away by Derek Martin. Underneath, Tracy Murray.
That's the kind of thing that drives a coach nuts when your point guard doesn't see people coming from behind. You always have to have that head on the swivel. We could be seeing a run here in the last 4 minutes for UCLA.
The crowd is back in here at Pauley Pavilion. 3.5 minutes left. Bruins up by 4. Brewer tries to quiet them down and does.
James Brewer.
Denny Crum, starter. Brewer now with 5. McLean answering quickly, but the miss, and the rebound, LeBradford Smith, who's had a quiet first half, scoring only 4 points so far. He averages 18. Inside, Holden dumps it off. Webb, air ball. McLean, the rebound. Number 6 for him off the boards. Martin for Murray. Too long with the 3, and LeBradford Smith has it. Up the court, James Brewer for the Cardinals as the smoke clears with 2:50 to go.
Cornelius Holden needs to get in the locker room, take a deep breath, and make believe he's playing in Louisville. He's really pressing.
Or Crenshaw High School, maybe. Just relax. There's a nice roll in for Sullivan, and 20 for him.
What a half to Everett Sullivan.
Martin driving over Sullivan, short. McLean a touch underneath. Butler a reverse, can't hit it. McLean takes it away from his teammate, says, hey, let me do it. 18 for him. Butler shaken up on the play.
Louisville needed to get on the floor that time. It's where players sometimes do not know whose possession it is. Coaches tend to. There's a situation that would have been Louisville's ball. Get down on the floor, get a jump ball.
2:20
here. Derek Martin penetrates, good defense, and then there it goes. It's a free ball. Got to get down on the floor. Could have stopped that. Louisville could have with that possession. McLean maybe missed one. He's got 15 points. Doesn't he at least?
He's got 18 right now.
18 points. Is it a quiet 18 or what?
It's an efficient 18 because he sat out about 7 or 8 minutes.
UCLA's going zone. I hope it works for you, Jimmy Harrick, but I don't like this. I like their man-to-man defense. I hate to give a three-point shot right towards the end of the half.
They call this their 2 defense. We'll see if it gives up a 3. Penetrating, LeBradford Smith on the 2. McLean, the rebound on the outlet. Matkins, who just came in. Martin left side. Butler scores.
It worked. I still feel, you like to look at a zone. If you go inside out, don't penetrate now. Right now, go inside, swing it.
Case down deep. Off the hands of Holden. He's still scoreless. And Matkins back for the Bruins. They're dominating the last couple minutes before halftime.
Poor execution by Louisville against a passing zone defense.
Now the Bruins will milk some clock here with 1:30 to go. 30 now on the shot clock. Butler to McLean. High post. He got a nice pick from a teammate. Couldn't hit the shot. And the rebound running for Everett Sullivan. Right side. Brewer inside. And finally, Cornelius Holden is on the board.
They had the numbers, and they handled it very well. Louisville did on that transition basket.
40-38 with a minute right now. Shot clock is at 36.
Here's this important part of the game. I wonder if enough players think about it. Louisville's going to get the first possession of the second half, and they're going to get the last shot of the first half. And up, back.
Maybe more than that. Bradford, Brewer, Bradford now. Maybe traveling. It was on Everett Sullivan. Bad mistake on a 4-on-1.
And they just blew an important opportunity there, which was to get the last shot, the first half of the first shot of the second half. Think about that, if you make the last basket of the first half, make the first basket of the second half, stop a team one time, and make another basket, you can score 6 points before the other club really has a shot at doing anything.
Shot clock is off now with 30 seconds to go. That was turnover number 13 by the Cardinals. That's how well they've played otherwise, Jim. They've really coughed it up, but they're right in the game.
UCLA will hold the basketball to probably about 8 seconds, get it, try to get it to Derek Martin, and he'll go to the basket to try and just spread the floor and dump it off.
Derek Martin, left wing, Matkins, McLean caught high post, but Brewer cut him off. Martin and Butler. Butler penetrates, hangs, and scores! scores.
Penetration again.
Cardinals have to launch a long one. Brewer on the miss. It'll be a 4-point game at halftime. Huge first half for Everett Sullivan of Louisville with 20. Don McLean of UCLA with 18. But the Bruins lead by 4. And of course, when you speak about legends, there's one in Westwood for a long time and one now in Louisville who used to play and coach here in Westwood. Denny Crum, a former protege of John Wooden, and it's our honor to have the coach with us here this afternoon. Coach, first of all, thanks for joining us, and maybe your impressions now on this UCLA program. A lot of folks think it's returning to some of those glory days.
I really don't think it's been away, Bob. The only thing that they haven't done in the 15 years since I've retired is to win the national championship. But once they got to the final game, and was beaten by this team they're playing today. And another team, they got to the Final Four and was beaten by Indiana, who went completely undefeated that year. So I don't think they've really been away. I think if you would check the overall won-loss percentage in the 15 years, you'd find that there's probably not much more than half a dozen teams that have a better won-and-loss percentage. But it's good to see a full house again.
You know, Coach, you've seen so many changes in the game of basketball, and it's a great game. It's at I think its peak right now, popularity. But what kind of rule changes might you think might make a great game even better?
Well, I think without any particular rule changes, if they call them the way it's in the book, I think they're permitting the game to become too physical, and I don't like that. The three-point rule, I think that it's too close. If it's worth 3 points to make a basket from 19-9, to run a good play, a screen and roll, or pass and cut, and get under there for an easy one, it'll be worth 5 points.
I knew it was too close when my mother came out of the stands one day and knocked in 2 of them. That's when I said it should move back a little.
And then I think 45 seconds is too long. When I was a member of the Rules Committee in the 60s, even we tested a number of games, and even Hank Iba's ball-controlled teams, they shot under 30 seconds. I advocated a 30-second rule, but the clock not to start till the ball crossed the center line. I think that would help the game. I'd like to also see them widen the lanes like the international rule.
Thank you, Coach.
John, thanks so much for the visit.
7 for 10 from the field, 20 points in the first half of play. On the other side, UCLA's done a good job at getting some baskets through sheer hustle. Here we go, Derek Martin. Oh, he makes a great steal. I know Coach Crum upset, and they get the easy basket. UCLA has more easy baskets than Louisville, hence a 4-point lead.
And a bit of an edge in field goal percentage at 47%. There's the first half turnover figures. Points off turnovers. UCLA obviously capitalizing. And the front line points, it's all Bruins up front with McLean leading the way. He has, on the day, 18 points. No blocks for Louisville. They had come into the game this year with 43 blocks in 8 ball games.
Yeah, Don McLean has a quiet 18 points. I mean, he is so efficient there. 18 points without any, spectacular plays. This just gets the job done. He's a terrific player.
Yeah, that's the thing they say about him. A lot of guys, when they're looking ahead to a pro career, looking for stats, he's looking for a way to win. He doesn't care about whether he gets his numbers or not, but looks like he's going to get them anyway.
Nothing about UCLA. They're all underclassmen. They're all back. Last year they went to the Sweet 16. Could go further this year, and next year, watch out.
Look out, Lute Olson and everybody else when Ed O'Bannon comes back from his knee injury. He's off crutches, by the way, and even shoots around a little bit now and then.
Spoke to him yesterday. He had a unique operation. Listen to this one. They took the Achilles tendon from a cadaver, and I hope, and they put it in his knee. As I hope the guy could play.
Oh man. Brewer with a 3, and he has 8 on the day, and Louisville gets it quickly back to a point.
O'Bannon works extremely hard. They're so pleased with his effort.
Murray off the high post. Butler down low, dumping kind of an afterthought of a pass, and it was taken away. Now it's a big day of sports on ESPN. All the champions gathering in Carlsbad for the Infinity Tournament of Champs. That gets underway at 5 o'clock Eastern time today. Action yesterday, and there's been a lot of rain around this area, so the greens will be soft, and those irons will be holding down in Carlsbad today.
A little upset came here. It starts to rain. No, it ever rained in Southern California. Isn't that a song?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it for us, though.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You've gone through that with Mr. Piper.
McLean down deep, and the ball comes right back to him. How's that for a nose for the ball?
There he is again. 20 points. He's probably shooting about 85%.
Sullivan has 20 for Louisville. He's out on the left wing right now. Last year, these two teams met, and it was the Cardinals winning by 17 on January 7th at Freedom Hall. Neither team has ever won on the other's court.
There's that great defense of Madkins not allowing Bradford Smith to get the ball. He's doing a terrific job. Can't say enough for that defensive effort by Gerald Madkins. You can see, take a look at it. They can't throw it to him. They got to go inside, and those players are not as effective. A reach-in foul again, something coaches just don't like. Don't come down with your hand. When you come down, it's a foul. Louisville does, man always steps back for three-pointer. Been watching that for years.
There it is, James Brewer, a couple of threes for him, and he has 11 points all of a sudden.
Used to do that to me all the time, Denny Cone. They put those four guys across the front, the first option. Jump shot behind the three-man screen.
Down deep, McLean dumps it. Fleur with the slam, and the sophomore has double figures.
He's improved his game, Don McLean, so much since he's been at UCLA. Now passes the ball extremely well, rebounds it, and is a better defender.
They say that's the difference. He's adding passing to his repertoire this year. Holden backing McLean in, hit the side of the glass. He continues to struggle. Martin kicks it. McLean pulls up. A little long for him, and Cornelius Holden has the rebound for the Cardinals, who trail by 2. But not for long. Everett with 22. Everett Sullivan, what a day. Butler dumps it in McLean, and on his back, it looks like Holden. That would be number 3 on Cornelius.
Number 30, Cornelius Holden.
He is really struggling. You have to feel bad for the young man here today. It's you know, who said that? It's you can't go home again. Is that Wolf? Thomas Wolf? Yes, I believe so. Just check out. I'm trying to show you I was an English major.
You were an English major. That is correct. Holden leaves. Tremaine Wingfield is back in.
I said that one time to someone. He said he was a French lieutenant. That's what I said.
Away from the ball, Troy Smith, his second. Some early fouls here. Louisville really cannot afford foul trouble 15 minutes down the road from right now.
And Cornelius Holden, listening to Denny Crum, trying to explain to him again, relax, relax, relax.
Oh, there's a block. Wingfield stuffing McLean. Loose ball underneath. Butler dribble, shot, block, and a foul.
Louisville, very aggressive, but UCLA, very opportunistic. They get those loose balls. I mean, they're blocking shots. Louisville is right under here. That's going to be a foul every time, no matter what you call it. He's saying, what about the verticality rule? Every year we hear the principle of verticality. If you're standing behind the offense, let your hands straight up, and the offensive man creates contact. Who's the foul on, Bob? Who's it on? It's supposed to be on the offensive player, and instead,
Mitchell Butler.
Instead, always, they call it on the D. Always.
We'd show you a slow motion replay of that, but we don't have enough time.
Coach Wooden at halftime said, right? All he wants is the rules interpreted a little bit better.
A dozen for Mitchell Butler. I tell you, he's still sharp as a tack, isn't he, Coach Wooden? You get him talking about the game of basketball.
Especially about his UCLA program. If anyone wants to insinuate it's been down a little bit. No, it hasn't. As he says, it's only down because when you're going up against 10 national championships.
Now, I agree with him over the long haul. He's right. But during the Walt Hazzard years, there were some un-UCLA-like things going on.
Also won the NIT.
Yeah, Walt did do that. Brewer got it back from Wingfield. Penetrates to the baseline right, throws it up too hard. And here comes Derek Martin down the floor. Bounces it through. Madkins couldn't hold it on. Bradford Smith may have screened him out a little bit.
Follow up on the point of you and mobility there. I think that's the word. As opposed to just the W's and L's, Jim Harrick has brought stability to the program. And for the long term, I think the idea that we're going to be back in Final Fours again and maybe get that 11th banner is real to people.
Yeah, the coaching changes.
That's right.
Bradford Smith, only 6 for him with that basket.
Great defensive job, but he's letting the game come to him. He's not forcing it. Signs good play.
And his team's tied with 16 and a half minutes to go. Some folks thought Louisville would not be in this situation.
We might add 2 people right here. Did not think Louisville was going to be in this situation.
In all honesty. And there's a 3 from Gerald Madkins. First basket of the day. What an inspiration he is. Did not play 2 years ago after he was run down by a car on his moped, and came back last year, and here he is. He's a big player on this team as a junior. From outside, L.A. they call him. LeBradford.
Last 2 times they had set plays for LeBradford Smith, and he produced both times.
Ooh, there's another foul. Troy Smith. 3 quick fouls since halftime, and 4 on him in the game. 15:46 to go.
You certainly a part of the outcome of this game as we see the 4th foul by Troy Smith, who said, not me, I didn't hit him, must have been somebody else. But he's got number 4.
Well, these Cardinals know all about Ricky Pitino's Wildcats, losers to Kentucky a week ago. He's playing great in the SEC, and then Nebraska having a banner year. Big 8 underway Tuesday on ESPN.
Coach of the year in the nation right now is Rick Pitino. The job he has done. The only losses he has, I mean, he goes to Indiana, goes to North Carolina, and just does a great job. And those kids are playing with incredible confidence.
Butler for Murray, forced the pass, got it back. LeBradford Smith watching as the ball squirts out of bounds. He says, I think we're through touching it. Let's just take it in from the sideline.
Thought it was volleyball there for a second.
Now, they played a lot of that on this floor.
Yes, in fact, there's no volleyball lines. Normally, when you come out and do a game on the West Coast, you can tell it's from there because the volleyball lines. But they don't do that on the sacred floor here. That's no way.
Sean Tarver back for UCLA. He's joined by 25 Keith Owens. Sitting down, Tracy Murray, as well as Gerald Matkins. Kip Stone running the offense now for Louisville with LeBradford Smith out top.
Gonna go to LeBradford. There it is.
He was a little off balance, leaning, and now they say it was because he was fouled. Sean Tarver, the man they're pointing at, that will be his second.
And Louisville had Darryl Griffith. I was coaching at Iona and we played against him then. They put him in all different spots to get him the ball. That's what doing LeBradford Smith. He's got it low twice. Now they clear out the side, and they catch UCLA for the lob play right there. Very excellent coaching by Denny Crum to move your best player, put him in different spots, give it a different look. And he's been very effective doing so.
Bradford Smith at 88%, the all-time Louisville leader from the line. He's their leader in career 3-point field goals and in assists.
Interesting. Kip Stone's in the game right now. He had a couple of turnovers early in the first half. Let's see how he plays for Louisville in the backcourt as a substitute.
If he plays well, that makes LeBradford Smith more dangerous because he can leave the point and concentrate on scoring. The follow would not go for Mitchell Butler. Cardinals with it. Tie game, 14:45 to go. Sullivan kicks it down. Turnaround will not go for Cornelius Holden. That shot was not even close to going in. Martin squirting through. Taken away, but it took a steal and a foul. Looks like Kip Stone is the man they're looking at. Big Monday premieres on ESPN in a couple of days. Syracuse and Pitt. Key game early in the Big East. Then in the Big Ten, the Gophers and the Badgers go at it from Madison. Then later, the Big West, Long Beach State and New Mexico State at midnight Eastern time. It is a big Monday.
And I'm looking forward to it. Starting on the 7th, I will be in the studio every Monday with my friend John Saunders. So I'm looking forward to those 3 games on Big Monday.
Derek Martin, first point of the day. Then the Big 8 in the SEC on Tuesday. ACC Big East Wednesday. Ain't good enough. Great reason to stay home for 3 nights during the winter months, for sure. Out on top, Kip Stone operating with Tremaine Wingfield. Hacking away there, Keith Owens. Play on, there's the steal.
That's what I was worried about. I thought that Kip Stone struggled a little bit in the first half, managed a turnover. Excellent job by Derek Martin on Kip Stone. But you got to watch that right now. This is a crucial part of the game in a 2-point game.
McLean on that miss for UCLA. Now LeBradford Smith will dribble around. Rick Sullivan penetrates with the dribble. Can't get it over the front of the iron. Holden kept it alive. Out of bounds. UCLA will get it.
Good call by the official and some very aggressive play by Louisville Cardinals.
And the place is full again. This one's been a sellout for several weeks. 12,500 plus at Pauley Pavilion today. Down deep. Tarver with the reverse on a great Don McLean feed. Tarver with 9 and a 4-point Bruin lead.
That's an excellent call from the bench. That's a post backdoor play, part of their offense.
Bradford Smith went one way. Everett Sullivan passed it the other. And turnover number 15 by Louisville. Smith will sit down, and Derwin Webb will be the man sent back in by Denny Crum.
Post backdoor. It's a set play, called it from the bench. And Tarver could do it because of he's left-handed. He's up on the other side of the basket.
Owens with the loose ball. Out on top. Back to Sean Tarver.
Fatigue could be a factor also for Louisville, Bob. They don't play as many players. Post backdoor again.
They just played Thursday night. Long flight out here yesterday from Cincinnati. Tarver, air ball. Rebound, Kip Stone.
That's why freshmen like to drive.
Stone switches it. Everett Sullivan only 2 points since they came out of the locker room, and that was over 7 minutes ago. Holden only 2 on the day.
Problem with Louisville, they run their offense well, not enough people to score. They're in positions to score, they won't take the shot.
Kip Stone turning around, won't go over Martin, and a foul. They're pointing at Cornelius Holden. That will be number 4.
See, Bob, there's the same situation. Louisville runs its offense well, get people in position to score, and then can't score. And then they foul after going to the loose ball. Fatigue and not enough players who can score may take its toll on the Cardinals down the stretch.
12:20 to go. UCLA by 4. Martin baseline left, kicks it to McLean. And Don McLean has scored 22. From Everett Sullivan. McLean. Martin. Right side. Butler.
If you're going to call a timeout, now's the time to do it.
Denny Crum.
Say second to miss, and there's the fast break, and Derek Martin looks one way and finds Mitchell Butler for the dunk the other way. And I'll tell you something, this is what we're talking about. Fatigue setting in a little bit. I think Louisville having some trouble on the offensive end scoring.
A 3:22-8-0 run for the Bruins. Beef check in 3 players, Mike Case, Derwin Webb, and Bradford Smith during that timeout. This game has been tied 10 times, lasted 51-51. Louisville has never led, and now they're down by their biggest margin.
You see, UCLA will not go out and pressure Jermaine Winfield at all because he's definitely not a threat. Where a shot allows them to do a better job on the Bradford Smith, which is what they're doing down in the lane. Not enough weapons right now, but don't feel sorry for the Cardinals. They got 3 guys, maybe 4 sitting out.
Yeah, next year, Louisville will be awfully nasty.
Minor, Morton, Hopgood, and Harmon. Jerome Harmon, who last year, when these 2 teams met in Louisville, was terrific. We have a little foul underneath. Again, there's so much activity down there. It's hard to call. Now they'll go to second option, Louisville, because this was stopped. That's the man going to the corner.
Sean Tarver, his 3rd foul on that play, and then they can't get it in. Turnover number 16 by Denny Crum's Cardinals. They're 5-3 on the year. This game today is their 2nd of a stretch when they play 6 in 12 days. He puts his teams through the paces early. Little long from Tarver, loose ball baseline, and Louisville will have it with 10:48 to go. Some of the NFL action, the Redskins win over the Eagles earlier. Kentucky in the SEC has beaten LSU. In the Big 8, Nebraska rolling to 14-1 today. Southern Miss with the lead over Florida State. That's a Metro game. And Ohio State leading Michigan in the Big 10. There's the big one from earlier. Virginia at home by 17 over Duke. Wow. And UConn over Pittsburgh in the Big East.
UConn again doing a great job.
Cardinals in a drought now. It was 15 minutes remaining the last time they scored.
Incidentally, Danny Nee at Nebraska is doing an outstanding job this year, too, with his Cornhuskers.
Wingfield comes up with a loose ball. Smith for 3. L.A. can't hit it. Owens with the rebound for the Bruins. Martin, it's a 3-on-2. He'll do it himself. And there's a foul.
Derek Martin shows great judgment as he's coming down. He's taking great court visions, looking everywhere, see what he can do. The defensive man goes one way, Martin takes it himself the other. Martin and Madkin, was talking to him yesterday about the best backcourt combinations in the country, and I said I happen to have privilege to coach Chris Corciani and Rodney Monroe, and you got the two guys in Vegas. They had a big smile. They said, we think we're right up there with them, and I'll tell you, they certainly are. They're only juniors. Both of them, Martin and Madkin's got another year.
Right now, the difference is they're not the scorers the other guys are.
That's the truth. But they play well together. They get done what they have to get done on this team.
Bradford Smith draws the foul. He had nothing to shoot at. Murray, Madkins, and Owens all there to help. They'll call the foul on Tracy Murray, his first.
Generally speaking, in a game like this, the club that's down by 10 or so has one more run in it. I'm not so sure Louisville has that run in it because of the ability of UCLA to substitute, because of the defense that UCLA's playing, really saying, hey, some of you other guys in Louisville are going to have to beat us. We're not going to let Bradford Smith. We're going to check Everett Sullivan. So you other fellas have to get it done. So if there's another run in Louisville, it's got to come from some other players.
Smith with only 10 today. He's coming off a 26-point, 11-rebound outing at Cincinnati. Averaging 18 a game. A little pressure by the Cardinals here. With 10:05 to go, they're down by 9.
UCLA's a tough team to press with this young man, Derek Martin, having the basketball. It's very difficult to come back and extend with pressure.
Throws up a bad shot that missed everything other than the glass. Over the baseline, though, the Bruins get a break and get it back. Out on Tremaine Wingfield, 44. Set the clock here. 28 seconds it was sitting at. They put a fresh 45 up there for the Bruins. Now Louisville 6 minutes without a field goal. Tarver had it taken away. Good defense by Everett Sullivan. Is the drought over?
And they're smiling. Louisville, what a move that was by Bradford Smith. He falls.
He faked the behind-the-back pass. Here comes Derwin Webb. Boom.
The doctor, hey, the Bradford Smith play. I haven't seen a lot of basketball. That was one heck of a move.
5 points to spread. Murray at the other end scores after the foul.
Trying to come up with a run, Louisville, with their defense, and then you've got Murray not only score, but he has an acrobatic. But watch this play. I mean, oh, I wish I could. Look at that one. He's going behind his back, and to get that kind of elevation, too. Oh, is that a nice play? That's one of those you always say, I wish I could have done that.
Well, he didn't quite fake out our baseline camera, though. He almost bit.
You can't fake out the cameraman. You can't fake out Dennis.
Dennis almost bit, but he stayed with LeBradford. 65-57. Down to 9:05 remaining. We'll see if Louisville comes alive offensively now. Brewer drives, dishes, and an easy 2 for Derwin Webb.
You see they're getting some scoring from other players. That's what has to happen. Brewer, nice penetration.
LeBradford Smith on the foul. He gambled to get the interception, and that will be his third.
The run has to come now. And it is. They've done a good job. Louisville's looking at that pressure.
These fans here know what's going on. They were about to inbound the ball. I said, wait a minute, man, we're in the bonus, and they'll shoot 1-and-1 at the other end.
Probably the single most important aspect, Bob, of any offense, no matter what it is penetration. And when you can penetrate, good things happen. But last time down, Louisville got penetration from Brewer. UCLA gets penetration all game long from Martin, from Tarver. They have guys who can go to the basket, creates all kinds of scoring opportunities.
Troy Smith in, playing with 4 fouls. Tremaine Wingfield leaves. They need something down the stretch from Troy Smith. They constantly say they've got to holler at Gerald Matkins to pass the ball more.
Okay, got one.
They call him a Frank Tanana of college basketball. You know, all that junk, he just kind of hangs around, no overpowering things, but gets the job done. And then, of course, we talked about the inspiration he is to his teammates coming back from that serious accident 2.5 years ago. Bruins thought they had the steal. They thought they forced Bradford to touch it last, and Smith smiles as the Cardinals keep it.
But the job of a referee is hard. He's got UCLA saying it's our ball. Bradford Smith's giving a little pat on the bottom and saying, you had it right. But I was fouled, he said. It's so hard to be a ref.
Bradford Smith dishing, and an easy 2 for Troy Smith.
What a beautiful, what happened? Penetration again. You got to stop the penetration. You want to play good, solid defense.
Louisville down by as many as 11, back to within 6 with that basket. They get the turnover there. Oh, and a steal. Matkins has it. Dishes for Murray. Off the glass, short. Loose ball. Owens for UCLA. And a foul. He scores.
Bob, I apologize. I smacked Bob Coverage in the back. I'm getting a little excited. I'm coaching. There's Denny Crum trying to make the comeback. He feels he's got a shot at it. They get the ball, and then the outlet pass. I went right into, watch this. Well, this is everybody's hustling and running and banging, and it's at UCLA. Today's the day. It's working for the Bruins, but the ball should have been going the other way with a chance to cut the lead. Really, it's about 4 or 5 points.
Yeah.
Turnover.
And now it's a 9-point game because of the 3-point play. So a possible 5 or 6 point swing there. Bradford Smith with a fake. Baseline right. Ball was tipped by Owens. Long one. Martin. Too hard. Rebound. Bradford Smith. Under 8 minutes to go. Bodies all over the place. Troy Smith back to LeBradford on the right wing. Brewer long with a 3, and Tracy Murray rebounds for UCLA. And at midcourt, a foul on James Brewer.
Louisville had to expend a great deal of energy. You can see how tired. When the players are pulling the shorts and they're kneeling down, you know you got some tired. There's the foul trouble, and the big one is Bradford Smith with 4. We mentioned he's been getting into some foul trouble. But the depth of UCLA, the run, I thought by Louisville was a very good one, but I think we're going to run out of steam.
Louisville has just committed its 10th team foul with 7:43 to go. So the Bruins, a team shooting 74% collectively, will spend some time at the line down the stretch.
Can't catch them. Don't think it's possible today to catch the Bruins. When you want to make a comeback, there have to be a number of ingredients. Number one, the team you're trying to catch, hopefully they don't have a good point guard, so they don't handle the ball well. Hopefully they don't shoot the ball well, especially free throws. None of those things are present for UCLA. For Louisville to come back, they handle the ball well, they shoot it well, they shoot free throws well.
Despite the miss, UCLA 19 of 22 from the line. Don McLean set the check back in, so is Mitchell Butler for the Bruins. Up by 10 with 7:25 to go. Cardinals really can't use a whole lot of the clock on their possessions.
Well, it's no fun having, Matkins guard you all day long.
Brewer penetrates, scores, and it's a defensive foul as well.
Whoa, what a call. Jim Harrick showing a lot of composure there. That's because the play was so far away from me, really couldn't get at the official from there. Let's take a look and see, was the defender set? Oh, I'll tell you.
Those feet were set.
It looks like, let's one more before I want to give my judgment right here. Oh, the man did step into it. Did you see that? That right there. He wasn't set. Good call by the officials.
James Brewer. Across the country to East Rutherford, New Jersey, the Tar Heels and the Fighting Irish at 8 o'clock Eastern time, but that's not all. The WAC takes center stage. The Rams of Colorado State and the Miners of Utah. Not a bad win for them at Georgetown a couple of weeks ago. midnight Eastern for the Whack on ESPN tonight.
I like how you know all the nicknames. See, people think maybe that's ring, but no, you know all those nicknames. Well, that's awfully good.
ESPN carries the Whack, and I was out in that conference 2 years ago. It's a fun league. You can get to some of those places. They play some exciting basketball in the Western Athletic Conference. Mitchell Butler. Tracy Murray. Down deep. Strong move. Matkins, but not strong enough with the shot. Who got the tap? It was either him or McLean.
It was Matkins. Matkins just stayed with it, got in there. You said that time showed a willingness to run a little bit of clock. It's a little early to do that, but they do have the kind of team that can run some clock and then you can have something good happen from the set play. Although it is kind of early.
Cardinals down by 9. They look to LeBradford Smith. Almost traveled as he got clipped on a pick going by.
That's a Matkins is the kind of guy who, like, you open your locker and he jumps out. Here he is, and he's unbelievable. Velcro man. It certainly is that. Brewer can't get the ball.
He can't shake loose from Mitchell Butler. Baseline right. Kip Stone. And he hasn't done any scoring today. Cardinals with the shot clock down to 4. And LeBradford Smith drills the 3.
Nothing to do about that. He had his hand up. He forced him past the 3-point. Just a good player's going to get you sometimes.
6-point game. 5:45 and running. Matkins. This is a 3, but it's short. Stone beaten by Butler, and there's the athlete, Mitchell Butler, skying for 2. He's out of Inglewood, right down there in the Laker neighborhood. Number 3 guard on this club a year ago, and a starter now. And back is Everett Sullivan, only 2 points in the second half.
Ohio State, 3-point lead. I tend to think is my pick. I think Indiana is Southern Mississippi's an outstanding team, but Indiana I like in the Big Ten. Although Ohio State's undefeated, I think Indiana's going to take the Big Ten. How about that?
I asked Denny Crum yesterday about the Metro. First team he mentioned was Southern Miss. They'll play at Louisville in a couple of weeks on ESPN. Turnaround. Count it. Troy Smith, only his 3rd field goal of the day. 7 points for the guy who averages 10. And the steal. Here comes Brewer. Behind the back dribble and the lay-in. James Brewer with 16.
They won't go away.
Under 5 minutes to go, and Brewer follows up the score with a midcourt foul. And again, UCLA will shoot free throws because they're over 10.
I like my new job. Brewer commits the foul. You see him looking at me here? He's like I was going to help him there. James, I'm sorry, but you did whack him. He did whack him. Looking at me. I gave him a little wink. What could I do?
Keep playing hard.
Hey, and Louisville is doing just that. I honestly thought they had several opportunities to say, let's get to the bus. And they're just hanging in there. It's going to come down to these last 5 minutes. See how free throw shooting goes for UCLA.
Gerald Matkins on that miss. They're 19 of 23, but they've missed 3 consecutive. Matkins with his 9th point. Normally a 73% shooter. And a 5-point game with 4:50 to go. Cornelius Holden. McLean watching him. Away from the ball, Matkins and Smith. Looks like Gerald Matkins the man that they're pointing at. It'll be his 2nd. And for UCLA, only their 6th team foul in the second half. So they have no more to give for the bonus, but they're not really in that 10 foul danger right now. Troy Smith. Everett Sullivan couldn't hit it. Louisville will get it back.
This is the interesting part of the game for coaches. This is where coaches take over. The last 5 minutes. This is when the coaches, the brain trust decides how we play, who plays, how quick do we play, do we shoot it, don't we? This is the coaches' time of the game. This is when coaches win games, and sometimes coaches give some games away.
You saw Brad Holland, the former Bruins star, back in the 70s, one of the assistants to Jim Herrick alongside.
Here's the danger. You go going out of bounds late in the game. Could give up an inside-outside 3. See the players asking, you want to go back, man? They're asking. Looking to the bench. Madkins looking at the bench.
Yeah, McLean looking over to Denny Crum, seeing what he's calling for his club.
There's the three.
Sullivan. Air ball.
But that's the danger in it. And that's the call you got to make.
Martin kicks it. Penetration. Tracy Murray won't go. Madkins is there with a follow. No points in the first half. 11 since halftime for the junior guard.
What a turnaround. If you hit the three-pointer down this end, what a different ball game it is.
Sullivan misses again. McLean just plays volleyball until he can get both hands on it. And his 11th rebound, it's his 4th double-double of the year. He has 22 points to go with him. Bruins by 7, 3:20 to go right now. McLean, he can do it all, but just wouldn't drop for him. Rebound by Everett Sullivan. LeBradford Smith dumps it down low. Holden, it just won't fall for him today, but he does draw the foul.
Bradford Smith's been very unselfish. That's very impressive, too. Especially late in the game, you're a senior, the only senior really out there. And he has opportunities. He could take the jumper, does not. Dumps it down to a struggling Cornelius Holden. It'd be nice to see him knock down both of these in front of the hometown fans here.
He's only a 58% free throw shooter.
So the chances are not very good he's going to knock one of these down.
There's the bad day. He's came in averaging 13 points and a team-leading 7 rebounds. At ball club, he played on at Crenshaw. 8 players to Division I off that high school team.
Rebounded 19-10. LeBradford Smith getting a little foul trouble. UCLA using their bench very well. And they've got 4 players knocking down double figures. So it's gone very much as expected.
Now, LeBradford Smith has been playing for a while with 4 fouls. So he's managed to still stay productive despite being 1 from elimination.
But what happens is defensively you don't do the things you can do. And Gerald Madkins has 11 points, has some follow-ups. He's done some good things.
There's a reach in. Oh, a traveling violation first. Just as James Brewer reached in, the whistle was blown on the baseline by Richie Ballesteros, but he said, no, it's traveling.
Okay, big bucket here. Let's see. Denny Crum probably will set up a play to get the ball to LeBradford Smith. If not, trying to look for Everett Sullivan.
It was Jerry White, the official on that baseline with the call, and Brewer operates.
UCLA's in his zone. Surprise. And it works again.
Sullivan way short.
That's what coaching's about. No patience at all to go inside, outside against the zone late in the game. Well, Coach Harrick's got the calls right. He's 2 for 2.
High post, Murray dumps it for Martin. Nowhere to shoot. Tracy will take it and then kick it outside to Mitchell Butler.
Nice offense by UCLA. Nice defense by Louisville. Looking for some things here. All right, backdoor, post backdoor, second man. Now around a double.
McLean back from Madkins. Little give and go. Goaltending on Cornelius Holden. It'll be points 23 and 24 for Don McLean.
Beautiful job of patience on one end. That's UCLA. The other end, not so patient. Just a nice job, UCLA running their offense. Good bench coaching and also good execution. Staying with the zone.
James Brewer bringing the ball up the floor like it's a 2 or 4 point game, but they're down by 8 here. Holden for LeBradford Smith. Madkins closed on him. Blocked by Mitchell Butler. And Tracy Murray, it looks like, over the top. He gambled going for the steal there. Kind of an unusual defensive play when you're up by 8.
Not a bad foul, though, because Louisville not shooting all that well. Here's the pass inside. Yep, not a good foul. 1 clock to run. You don't want people to score without the clock moving. But the way it's been going for Louisville right here, who knows? May not make these 2. UCLA's been getting a lot of good rolls, and there it is again.
Troy Smith got it back, dumped it down, and Everett Sullivan had his shot tipped by Murray, but they say it was before it was out of his hands, and that'll be foul number 3 on Tracy Murray. But Louisville offensively on another one of those drought runs, Coach. 3.5 minutes plus now without a field goal. There's Derwin Webb back in. Troy Smith will leave. At the line, Everett Sullivan, a 58% free throw shooter. Cardinals as a team, 67.
Louisville really had just 1 more player, that's all. Just 1 solid inside scorer. that you could go in and make people have to double down. They're only one away, and they have that one. They're sitting out. They'll be back.
Sullivan 20 at the half, only 24 in the game now. Still twice his average, but he had an unbelievable first half. Quickly down to Butler. Bruins with less than a minute and a half to go. They lead by 6. McLean takes charge, gets the pass, passes to Murray, who scores, and a foul.
I like that. I like going at the basket rather than pulling that ball out. I thought a very positive move by UCLA. Murray's uncanny at drawing the foul and then getting that sucker to go down. Watch this. He pump fakes, brings it down a little bit. He does a nice job. He's done it several times today.
Hey, you know what the bad news is for the Pac-10? Murray has a little brother, Cameron, in the 9th grade. Ed O'Bannon has a little brother, Charles, a sophomore in high school, and they might end up getting both of them, too.
Now, that's the way to recruit. Make sure the family's talented.
That's right. And people in Vegas are thinking, oh, Charles O'Bannon, he should be following Ed to our place. 83-74 with a minute 15 to go. Long-range three, Brewer, no. Troy Smith the rebound, and he drew the foul.
You stay with it as long as the threes aren't going in. You might as well stay with it.
Derek Martin with his 3rd foul. At the line, Troy Smith. But Louisville not doing a whole lot from the free throw line right now. 16 of 23 on the day, so they're right on their average. They hit about 2 out of every 3.
Here's where the 10 foul rule makes it so difficult to come back. Louisville's going to press. If they do get a score, they're going to press whether they get it or not. But you can't foul because you give up 2 shots. So hard to come back, minute and 8. As I said, Louisville's shown a lot of heart, a lot of hustle, but just not enough weapons, I think, to beat UCLA.
Derwin Webb back in as Denny Crum employs the Webb-Smith shuttle. Troy is the man who leaves so that Webb can guard Don McLean and promptly fouls him on the inbounds play.
His automatic deuce.
Yeah, with McLean, an 83% career free throw shooter. Minute 7 to go, 8-point spread. Webb will leave and Troy Smith back in for Louisville. If the Cardinals lose, they'll be 5-4 on the year with a 3-game losing streak. UCLA trying to improve to 12-1. They're number 10 in the AP poll. Coaches have them 9th in the country.
They're good. They're a very good team. They shoot it. They're quick. McLean gives them a dimension a lot of clubs don't have. He shoots it outside. He gets inside. Just a very good basketball team. It's only going to get better, too. That's the thing. They're young. They're so young.
There's McLean's 4th double-double of the year. Now 26 points and 12 rebounds.
Even when he misses, it goes in.
Yeah.
It still goes in.
They're up by 10 with a minute 5 to go. UCLA off to its best start in 8 years. Troy Smith short, and McLean on the back of Cornelius Holden, who outpositioned him. McLean with his 3rd foul. Golf is coming up next. Kyton Watkins are at 10 under par entering today's action from La Costa, the Infinity Tournament of Champions. Only winners from the 1990 season on the PGA and Senior Tours invited to play there. And that'll continue today, 5 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. A lot of hoops later. Notre Dame and North Carolina, Colorado State and UTEP later tonight. Poor free throw shooting club.
Time to get on the bus for Cornelius. It's a tough day.
Right in his own backyard, Crenshaw High School, about 10 miles from here. Missed them both. Rebound, Mitchell Butler. Don McLean.
Have to foul. You have to foul if you want to come back at all, or you just got to foul somebody. Next week, you know, UCLA has a very big week. Arizona State and Arizona.
Thursday and Saturday at Tempe and Tucson, respectively. McLean fumbled, picking it up. Butler, and he scores. UCLA with its biggest lead, a dozen. Ooh, and a 3-point swish. Everett Sullivan, 20 game.
And Louisville was away from today where all the upsets were. It was in the air.
Yeah.
They got through the day without being up. without, I mean UCLA, excuse me, got through without being upset.
Jim Herrick's only loss. There's Brett Holland alongside. His only loss at Iowa. They'll go to 12-1 with this one. And they're also unbeaten in Pac-10 play with a win the other night over Stanford, which already puts them ahead of Arizona. That upset loser to Washington the other night. So at Tucson next Saturday, that'll be a huge game when the Bruins visit the Wildcats of Lute Olson.
You notice when you look at the bench, how many were former guards? Where are all the big guys? You notice that? Brad Holland was a guard. Mark Godfrey, a guard.
The big guys are the assistants.
11, James Brewer.
James Brewer with his fourth. And we mentioned Brett Holland a couple times. Let's not forget Scooter McRae on Denny Crum's staff. He was drilling him from outside in practice yesterday.
He looked awfully good, didn't he?
He should still be playing.
Louisville.
Okay, Rick, you're ready.
2 minutes.
One.
Derek Martin hitting the second of his two. He scores 6 today, 88-78. Cardinals down the floor for the final time. LeBradford Smith drills the three, and they call a timeout with 4 seconds to go.
Now, I know everybody gets upset. You hear the fans booing. The reason you do that is habit, so that in a big game you get the timeout. You want the people and your players to react properly. Certainly Denny Crum knows, does not have a 7-point play in his bag here, but it's good to do it. And they see they came right back on the court.
Yeah, he sent them right back out.
Score, call timeout,
And then get back out there.
get in the habit of doing it.
Exactly. Tracy Murray bounces it in. Gerald Matkins back to Murray. This one is over, and the Bruins win it 88-81.
And like a true scorer, Murray tried to get that last one to go from full court. He said, "Is a three-pointer. Let's see if I can knock it down." Good win by UCLA. They're a fine basketball team, but Louisville is going to get better and better.
The all-time series, UCLA now 9 wins against 5 losses, and still neither team has ever won on the other's court. Jim Herrick is now 33-4 at Pauley Pavilion. For Jim Valvano, Bob Carpenter, see you from LA. Golf is next on ESPN, and it's a great night of basketball coming up as well.
A vote will be scheduled for this Friday.
To unseat the senior partner against her will, you need 2/3, which means all she needs is 2 lousy votes.
I don't like sitting up there, high and mighty.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that my days on the bench are numbered.
We could remain cautious and back away from each other.
You think that would be a good idea?
I think relationships change.
Mackenzie, Brackman, Cheney, Kuzak, and Becker. And that's something. I'm asking you now. Don't you let that get away.
Is there anybody that wants to see me remain as senior partner? I resign.
Marry me.
Yes?
You will?
Yes, I will.
Great show! Great show! Careful with the costumes. We've got one more tomorrow night. There's no smoking back here, Barry. Please put that out. Munchkins! Paul, get me all the munchkins in room 2 right away. Oh, Benny. Oh, you were sensational. Did it feel right?
Yeah.
Does it look right? I'm telling you, you were terrific.
Mama, I leave too.
Yes, I want all the munchkins in that room now, please. That's going to be great melt chop. Just perfect.
Have you seen Alice?
I saw her go in Ward 2.
Ouch.
Hold still.
I am.
Hello, hello. School Express ready to go. Hi, Sarah. Okay, Chloe. Hi, Arnie.
Hi.
There you are.
Kisses. Kisses. Mwah.
Bye-bye. Mm. I'll pick you up at Stephanie's. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Want some more coffee?
Yeah,